So, I already know quite a bit about your life and stuff, and I know it's already well documented, but I wanted to get your opinion on a few things.
Yeah, fine, whatever, just do it.
What I had to do is, my main thing is getting kids into gardening, and I wanted to get your opinion on getting younger people into gardening, because at Guardian Media Guilds last year you talked about, like, 'cause I'm a podcaster, and you talked about new media and getting younger people into that realm of things. And I just wanted to get a bit more of opinion on that, really, and see what you really thought about it.
The thing is, it's very easy when you're older and you've always had a passion for gardening to think, oh, well, it's obvious, isn't it? This is the best thing to do. But it doesn't dawn on everybody for a long time. What I've found, 'cause now I'm going through the second phase, if you like, with children, not having brought my own children up and been very careful about not ramming gardening and horticulture and natural history and the importance of looking after the landscape down their throat, but just allowing them to discover the delights of being in it and kind of building on that. I'm now doing the same with grandchildren. I've got 4 between 7, 6, 5 and 4, 2 boys, 2 girls, and they just love being outside. And I think if you capitalise on that, don't get too earnest too quickly, but let them enjoy paddling in puddles, being in mud, finding worms, beetles in matchboxes. It's sort of sharing that joy with them, which then builds into something greater. And I've just, about a month ago, having been nagged, and this is great when it comes the other way around, my 2 grandsons, 7 and 5, nagged me to sow vegetables with them. And that makes it sound as if I wasn't keen to do it, but I wanted it to get to such a fever pitch that I wasn't forcing it on them, but they were actually begging me to sow seeds with them, and we did. And I waited, because the key thing is they say to you in November, can we sow some vegetables? And you think, now how can I keep this going until April? Because even March is sometimes too. And we did, and I kept saying yes. We sort of looked at odd pictures, and I asked them what sort of things we would be growing when we sowed the seeds. And then when the moment came, I took my grandson, the older one, to the garden centre and looked at the packets, and we pulled down the ones he wanted to try, and I said, that might work, this might not, and why. We took them home and we sowed them that day with his brother in a strip outside the back door, a little narrow border, only about 18 inches wide but sort of 10 feet long, a little bit carrots and radishes and lettuces, things I knew would come up quickly, and give them something rather than waiting for weeks and weeks. And I went round last week, and we ate the radishes. That's and good. They were so... And they ring me, Grandpa, it's come up, they've come up. The radishes have come through the soil. And if you can just harness that, their natural enthusiasm, I think you have to wait then also. You've got a bit which comes when they get to be teenagers and they go away from it. And it's a great frustration, I think, particularly for keen gardeners, that... I founded my own charity called Titchmarsh's Gardens for Schools 20 years ago, and ran it for about 5, and made grants to primary schools to make gardens and nature areas. And then I joined up with the RHS because their campaign for school gardening was getting going. My charity outgrew the kitchen table, which is what it was, so I sort of donated money to the RHS and to keep it running for a bit. And it's now, it's sort of been absorbed into their campaign for school gardening. And primary schools, it's quite easy to get children involved and to get teachers involved. And forest schools, where they just take them out for a while in the week, which is wonderfully valuable. But they do go away at secondary school age, and people say, well, how can we get secondary school children gardening? I said, well, be patient, they come back. And no pun intended, the seed's been sown when they were younger. And I'm hoping that with my grandchildren, that passion they feel, they'll remember that. The most important thing is that you don't bore the pants off them with it, or tell them, you haven't been out there and watered those. You can find ways of encouraging them, but it's vitally important that we keep them connected with the great outdoors. That is, in whatever way that might be.